fantastic audience there. This is Naina welcoming y'all on our channel A Parent and a Child.
And Prasanna here. If you haven't watched our previous video on how to deal with difficult people, I'd strongly suggest you watch that. You can do so after this one too.
Absolutely. Today we are going to take a step further. We are going to delve into a topic that's not just about handling difficult people, but not being one yourself, and about becoming someone people genuinely like to be around.
And if you're ready to upgrade your social skills and create a positive conversation, you're at the right place. Let's talk about how to be the change you want to be and not be that difficult person.
And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who might truly benefit. So let's jump in. Before we dive into how to avoid negative behaviors, let's first identify how these negative behaviors look like.
As we discussed in our previous video, it is important to identify challenging personalities earlier. Negative behaviors can manifest in different ways: constant complaining, dismissive behavior, as well as being rude.
One straightforward way to avoid falling into this trap is to be conscious of your tone, the tenor of your voice, as well as your facial expressions. Your sound, your facial expressions, and your body language make a lasting impression on how people around you judge you.
Another obvious but often subconscious trait can be the alpha personality that triggers in you the moment you encounter someone weak, dependent, or even less privileged than you.
Exactly. It is essential to recognize these patterns not only in others but also within ourselves.
Now that we've identified these behaviors, let's find out strategies that will help us avoid these negative patterns.
As we mentioned in our last video, our job is not to change others, but to change the way we respond to the challenging situations. Our first strategy is to cultivate positivity. Focus on what's good in your life and encourage positive environment around you.
As we discussed in our previous video, fostering positive connections can make a huge impact on your well-being.
Sporting a smile and making an effort to appear friendly, no matter how difficult and conscious you feel about it, can make a lasting impression with the person you meet, whether new or old.
Initiate the interaction, whether it's a warm greeting, a casual comment, or your take on some mainstream topic. These are simple gestures that can do the task for you. Regularly practicing this can leave a lasting impression. Ideally, you would want people to talk about you by saying, "Hey, look, that's a nice guy." Empathy goes a long way. Put yourself in others' shoes, understand their perspective, and respond with kindness.
Remember, empathy was one of the key strategies we explored in our last video when dealing with difficult people.
Kindness is a trait that comes naturally to all of us, especially if you follow your heart more than your brain. A recent experience illustrates this point. At our local cafe, we were witness to a very unpleasant experience that our barista went through thanks to an unpleasant customer. Our response was simple. We consoled her, we praised her competence, and we complimented her on her exceptional skills. That's all it took from us.
To our surprise, during our next visit to the cafe, a few days later, the same barista showed her gratitude by presenting us with a bar of chocolate as a token of appreciation for the kind words. It was more than we could ever imagine. And as we encourage you to do, on the same day we pass this kindness forward. We shared this bar of chocolate with the security personnel from our child's school. We chose him for his consistent politeness, kindness, and his helpfulness. It undoubtedly made his day. Words hold immense power. Choose your words wisely. Be mindful of what you speak, how it impacts others and the overall environment.
And this applies in not only dealing with difficult individuals, but also in creating positive interactions in any situation.
Research indicates that an average person can retain 50% of what they hear immediately after the conversation. After 48 hours, this number falls to 25%, and after a week, he is able to retain only 10% of it. Now imagine in that 10% you have been a bit brash and aggressive. That's a memory for a lifetime.
Many of those that we have suggested this approach have often responded by saying, "But I am like this only. Why should I change for someone else?" Our question is simple. If a little change to your behavior can bring about a significant change in your reputation as well as make life easier for you and your loved ones, isn't that change worth making? Think about it. We all make mistakes. What is important is how you learn from them. Acknowledge every time you make a mistake and strive to do better.
Learning from our experiences is a continuous journey towards personal growth. This is what we discussed in our previous video as well.
While an apology would be ideal, it's not always easy to pull off and not feasible either. So the next best option would be to make a conscious effort to make sure that you're bringing about that change and making this effort in a manner that the person concerned can actually notice.
And in the rare instance the person concerned isn't ready to accept anything short of an apology, don't hesitate to do so. It doesn't belittle you. In fact, an honest and heartfelt apology can only reinforce your reputation as someone wanting to make a positive change. Moving on to creating positive interactions, it's about fostering connection that uplift rather than bring down.
And just like we discussed in our last video, positive interactions create a harmonious environment around you. Simple acts of kindness can make a huge difference. It could be as simple as holding the door for someone or passing a genuine compliment to someone you acknowledge.
And as we discussed previously, small gestures of kindness contribute to building a positive community. Active listening is the key. Truly hear what others have to say and respond thoughtfully. This contributes to creating a positive change.
This aligns with our previous discussion on effective communication and understanding, doesn't it?
Wrapping up our discussion on how to be a better person by avoiding negative behavior.
If you found these strategies helpful or you have tips of your own, remember to share them in the comments section below. Do remember to like, share and subscribe to the channel.
Until next time, take care, keep smiling and be positive and be the positive change you want to see around the world.